So I have good news for you, and that is that if you're watching this video right now, it is no accident. Your timeline is about to shift. Maybe you've been feeling stuck, like life is on repeat. Maybe you feel like you've been waiting for a sign that change is finally here. The good news is your energy brought you to this video, and what I'm about to share with you could be the catalyst for a completely new version of your life. So here's the great news that I have for you. Your timeline will shift when you decide to shift. The only moment we have to manifest is the present moment. That is one of the most incredible yet simple things I've learned this year in all of my spiritual progress. It's such a simple, straightforward thing, but how many of us get caught up worrying about the past or concerned about the future instead of just focusing on the right now, the present moment, the only moment we truly have, and the only time that we have to make this conscious decision to shift our timeline and create a new reality. So right now, in this present moment, you are at a fork in the road. One path leads to more of the same, and the other is a completely different reality, and it doesn't happen by luck. It happens by choice. So again, the great news is this timeline shift is all up to you. And it's going to happen, it has to happen in the present moment. Because again, that's the only moment we have. So whenever you make that decision, that conscious decision that this moment is it, that's it. And you can move on and you can have that timeline shift immediately. But now I want you to ask yourself, in order to do this, are you ready to let go of the old story you've been telling yourself? I think so many of us, we love this idea of a timeline shift. We love this idea of becoming a new, more empowered version of ourselves. But we're carrying this old baggage with us. We're carrying these old limiting beliefs. And in order to create a new story, we have to make room for it. And that means letting go of the old. So my other question for you is this. Are you ready to stop waiting for permission to create this life that you want? I think a lot of us have maybe even unconscious blocks where we're waiting on some kind of external validation or permission to make the changes in our lives that we want. We're worried about what a friend or a family member, maybe a parent or a loved one might say or think or how they might react. But we have to remember, we have to take back our own power. And again, the ability to make that timeline shift is yours and yours alone. So if you decide right now, watching this video, right in this moment, that that's it, I'm going to have this new way of thinking, I'm going to take action, that's it, it's done. And remember, your future is not written in stone. It's totally up to you. And every decision you make, every thought you choose is rewriting your timeline right now. And that shouldn't freak you out. Don't look at it like a perfectionist. I definitely tend to be a perfectionist at times. And something like that can be a little overwhelming, like, oh my God, there's so much I have to be aware of. But no, look at it as a very empowering thing. That power was within you. And whatever happened in the past, that's in the past. And whatever happens in the future, there's no reason to worry about that right now. All we have is this present moment, right now. And if you want to make that timeline shift, you can decide to do that right now watching this video. And again, this is really the key. And this is something I've been working on a lot this year. It's so simple, yet so profound. And that is, in order for this timeline to change, yes, you have to align with it, and you can decide right now to shift to it, but it's about not just thinking about, but becoming right now in this moment, the version of you who already has that dream life. What does that version of you think and feel? How do you interact with other people? How do you show up? What is your posture like? How do you speak? Because I think what you'll find is as you begin to embody more and more that future version of yourself, when you think, when you feel and act in alignment with that life that you desire, this shift becomes inevitable. And then in an interesting way, like your timeline sort of collapses into that new reality. But again, what we have to do to create this is we have to make the conscious decision to become that new person. We have to hold that in every moment and feel as though we've already achieved those things. And then we'll find ourselves on this new timeline. We'll complete the shift. So now, how do you know when your timeline is actually shifting? So here are some key things you can keep an eye out for that might be indicators that you are in fact shifting timelines. So one is that you'll feel like this inner pull or an inner intuition to change certain things about yourself. Your habits, thoughts, or relationships will change, and things that no longer serve you will sort of naturally fall away. Maybe you have some bad habits that just don't align with that new version of yourself. You might find yourself just like not having interest in those things, and they'll just gradually fall away. Another thing you'll likely see is synchronicities. I've seen so many synchronicities. It's just ramped up exponentially as we've gotten to the end of this year. But seeing numbers like 1111, unexpected opportunities, or those weird moments where you're thinking of someone and they call or text, these random encounters which aren't really random. These things are just reminders from the universe that, hey, keep it up, you're doing a great job. Now, it's really cool when these happen. I view them as sort of little like reminders from the universe that, hey, great job, you're on the right track, that sort of thing. But again, I've been seeing synchronicities pop up in my life so often lately as we get to the end of this year. So another thing to look out for is your comfort level, because this can show you just how far you've come. So life at times when we're making these changes and timeline shifts, it can be really uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable stepping into a new role. For example, let's say you get a new job at work or a new position at work. And initially, it's a little uncomfortable. You have so much to learn. You have new employees, new staff. You're a bit overwhelmed. You're a little insecure about it. Well, then flash forward like a year later and you're confident. You know exactly what you're doing. You've gotten some awards. It's that kind of mindset where once you've had that success and you look back on where you were a year prior, it's like, wow, I've come such a long way. With these timeline shifts, it's something similar where we can often look back a month or even a week and think, wow, I mean, that's where I was at that point. Look how far I've come. Like, I feel so much more empowered or confident, or I've broken this bad habit, whatever it is. It's cool and it's good to take some time to reflect on the progress that you've made and just see how far you've come. So if any of this message has resonated with you, then you're definitely ready for a timeline shift. Your timeline's about to change, and you are the one shifting it. Release the doubts you have, release those old patterns, trust that your vision is already on its way to you, and get ready for a new and better version of yourself for this new year. So let me know in the comments below what you're focused on building in this new life of yours for the new year. And if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.